Applied AI is an emerging field that is going to get way more popular in the next few years. And I was able to get a job in it, and I doubled my income by getting a job in it. So I'm going to go into what applied AI even is and how I think I got that job and kind of the differentiators. So, applied AI is basically just applying AI to business practices and in a way that's going to actually make an impact. There's a huge gap in all of the AI capabilities that are coming out, and then like business processes that are lagging behind. Businesses are so overwhelmed and they do not know how to apply this in a meaningful way. Boom, QU. So I now work at a marketing and technology agency, and I'm a director of applied AI media. And how I think I got this job is both experience, and I'm not technical, by the way, so I don't have a technical traditional background, but I created experience for myself with an AI, and then also specialization. And I'll go into kind of both of what I'm meaning by those and kind of some details, caveats, pitfalls to avoid. So when it comes to experience, when ChatGPT first came out, I've always kind of been like a systems person, but my background is marketing. And when it first came out, I just was so engulfed and interested in it that I just started using it as much as I could. I started looking up and like making automations, and I was personally so interested in it. And then I was on maternity leave at the time, kind of assuming the whole world was into it. Ends up not really. And so I went back to my agency at that time, and they weren't using it very much, and which was shocking. And I still look around at the world now and people really aren't using it that much, which is crazy, I think. And so I just started seeing such a gap. And so there was a lot of hesitation with my agency at that time about using AI. Fair enough. We did a lot of work with financial services, so a very cautious field. So I started doing consulting on the side, where I would just, some of it was informal, and then it became more formal, of just teaching folks how to use it, showing them how I used it, building some slight automations. And then I was always tooting the horn to the owner of that agency I was working with at the time about the importance of AI, my vision for it. I basically told him, like, this is my role that I imagine having. And he said, go for it. And so he let me lead an initiative called the AI Discovery Lab, in which tested tools. It was amazing experience because it helped me kind of build in formalizing the way we looked at tools, frameworks. I was talking to clients a ton about AI. Granted, I made a lot of decks and strategies. No one really ever did anything with it because they were too scared, and procurement was a nightmare. But the experience of it and just the being able to try was so helpful, and getting that practice of, okay, what's the best way to look at, what are your current business practices? How do I think about, a way to see what would be most impactful, that type of thinking. So that was the experience aspect of it. And then on the other side of specialization is, I want to be honest with you, I'm kind of allergic to that word, just because I'm interested in so many things. And the idea of niching down, like, always feels very limiting, but it's your ticket in. That's my conclusion. So how I got this job is it was just on LinkedIn, and I did a straight up easy apply, by the way, on it, because they needed someone that is really good about creating AI solutions, needing, basically like knowing AI and being good at it. I was like, check, me. But then they also needed someone that had an experience in paid media, and that's basically advertising online. And maybe 5 years prior, that was my job. And it was like such a horrible job. It was so overwhelming. And at the time, it's so stressful because there's so much money on the line. But I learned it. I learned how to do it. I ended up going to a different marketing agency. We did a completely different type of marketing called content marketing. But I do know paid media. And so I was like, well, I do have experience in paid media. And so everything on that LinkedIn job application, like, it just was all me. And so I was like, yep, I'll just apply. And then because I'm in California, it shows the salary range. And I was like, holy shit, it felt very like, I was definitely feeling that imposter syndrome, but I was like, well, I everything they're listing I could do, and I would think I would do a really good job. There's a whole long story of like how many interviews, and I was pregnant at the time when I applied, so that was its own thing. But cut to like 9 rounds of interviews later, I got the job. And I truly think it's because it was so hard for them to find someone that knows AI but also has that paid media experience. So that how that translates to you is, all right, you know AI, you're a figured out person. Let's be honest, you could probably do this for any industry because you're just a bright person. However, showing that you understand the language or how a certain industry moves or just knowing the jargon, that differentiator will absolutely be so helpful for you. So just identifying, okay, what industry is it? I don't know, maybe it's within law, or maybe it's in healthcare, or it's a certain type of, like, I don't know, procurement that you're good at. Whatever it is, just like make that your story. And so it's like, I do AI and I'm good at this. I understand this industry. I'm the person for you. And I think that is the trick, is where, HR is looking and they're just like, oh, that's my person.